You've been rejected by the same girl 6 times. 6. Most guys would get the hint and move on, right? This is the story of Aiden and Elena, and how sometimes the best way to win someone's heart is to stop trying altogether. Let me paint you a picture of Aiden. 24 years old, software developer. The kind of guy who remembers your coffee order after meeting you once and always holds doors open for people. Good guy, right? But Aiden has one tiny problem. He's completely, hopelessly, embarrassingly in love with Elena Rodriguez, his coworker in the marketing department. And Elena, she thinks Aiden is sweet, but that's about it. Their office is one of those trendy tech startups where everyone's young and the lines between work and friendship get blurry. Aiden and Elena are in the same friend group. They grab lunch together, go to happy hours, share inside jokes about their terrible boss. But every few months, like clockwork, Aiden works up the courage to ask Elena out on a real date. And every time, she gives him the same gentle letdown. Rejection number 1 comes after the company Christmas party. Aiden, feeling brave from 2 glasses of wine, asks Elena if she wants to get dinner sometime. Just the 2 of us. Elena smiles that sweet, pitying smile. Aiden, you're such a good friend. I don't want to mess that up. Rejection number 2 happens 3 months later. Aiden asks Elena to go his date to his cousin's wedding. I know it's not really a date, but maybe we could pretend for just one night. I don't think that's a good idea, Elena says softly. I don't want to give you the wrong impression. Rejection number 3 is after Elena breaks up with her boyfriend, some finance bro who treated her like garbage. Aiden thinks this is his moment. He brings Elena her favorite Thai food and asks if she wants to talk about it over dinner. You're so sweet, Aiden, but I'm not ready to date anyone right now. Are you seeing the pattern here? But Aiden doesn't give up. If anything, each rejection makes him try harder. Rejection number 4 comes with flowers. Aiden shows up at Elena's desk with a bouquet of sunflowers, her favorite, and asks her to the company summer picnic as his date. Elena takes the flowers, but shakes her head. Aiden, we've talked about this. I care about you as a friend, but I'm just not feeling it romantically. Rejection number 5 is the most elaborate yet. Aiden finds out Elena has been wanting to see this indie band that's playing at a tiny venue downtown. He waits in line for 3 hours to get tickets, then presents them to her with his whole speech about how music brings people together. Elena looks genuinely touched. But, Aiden, this is so thoughtful, but I can't keep letting you do these things for me when you know how I feel. Rejection number 6 is the breaking point. It's Elena's birthday, and Aiden has planned what he thinks is the perfect gesture. He's learned that Elena has been trying to get into this exclusive art class that's always booked up. Through a friend of a friend of a friend, Aiden manages to get Elena a spot. He presents her with the enrollment confirmation at her birthday party, in front of everyone. Elena, I got you into Sarah Chen's watercolor workshop, the one you've been wanting to take forever. The whole room goes quiet. Elena's face turns red, and not in a good way. Aiden, can we talk outside? On the restaurant patio, Elena finally loses it. Aiden, you have to stop. This is too much. The flowers, the tickets, now this. I never asked for any of it. You're making me feel guilty for not liking you back, and that's not fair. Aiden feels like he's been slapped. I was just trying to show you how much you mean to me. By making me feel like I owe you something? Aiden, I've told you 6 times that I don't see you that way. When are you going to listen to me? And that's when something in Aiden finally breaks. The next Monday, Elena expects to see Aiden at her desk with coffee and an apology. That's what always happens after their conversations. But Aiden doesn't show up. Tuesday comes and goes. No Aiden. By Wednesday, Elena's actually looking for him. She finds him in the break room, but when she approaches, Aiden just nods politely and walks away. No small talk, no lingering, no asking about her weekend. Aiden, wait, Elena calls after him. He turns around, but his expression is completely neutral. What's up, Elena? The casual way he says her name throws her off. Usually it's Ellie or Elle, the nicknames he used for years. Are you okay? You seem different. I'm fine, just focusing on work. And that's it. Aiden walks away, leaving Elena standing there, confused. Over the next few weeks, Aiden becomes politely invisible. He's still friendly in group settings, still shows up to team lunches and happy hours. But the special attention Elena's gotten used to, it's completely gone. No more coffee runs specifically for her, no more funny memes sent to her Slack, no more staying late to help her with projects. When the group goes out, Aiden talks to everyone except Elena. And when he does talk to her, it's purely professional. Elena tells herself she should be relieved. This is what she wanted, right? For Aiden to back off and treat her like a normal coworker. So why does she feel so empty? 3 weeks into Aiden's polite indifference, Elena starts noticing things she never paid attention to before. Like how Aiden always used to make sure Elena got fed during long work sessions. She'd be so focused on a project that she'd forget to eat, and Aiden would just appear with a sandwich or her favorite salad. Now she's working until 9 p.m. with a growling stomach, wondering why no one cares if she eats. Or how Aiden used to be her automatic +1 for work events. Elena hates networking, but Aiden would stick by her side, jump into conversations when she got awkward, and always have an escape plan when things got boring. At last week's client mixer, Elena spent the whole night standing alone by the appetizer table, watching Aiden charm a groom of executives across the room. But the thing that really gets to Elena is how Aiden used to listen to her. Elena's always been a talker. She processes things out loud, needs to bounce ideas off people. Aiden used to be her sounding board for everything. Work stress, family drama, random thoughts about movies she'd watched. He'd remember details from conversations they'd had weeks ago and ask follow-up questions. Now, when Elena tries to talk to Aiden, he's polite but distant. "That sounds tough," he'll say, or "I hope it works out." But then he'll change the subject or find an excuse to leave. Elena starts noticing how Aiden is with other people now. He's funnier than she remembered, more confident. At happy hour, she watches him tell stories that have the whole table laughing. When did Aiden become so charismatic? And the women in the office are definitely noticing. Sarah from HR keeps finding excuses to stop by Aiden's desk. The new intern Jessica practically giggles every time Aiden explains something to her. Elena tells herself she doesn't care. She should be happy that Aiden is moving on, right? But she can't stop watching him. The breaking point comes at the company holiday party. Elena shows up wearing her favorite black dress, the one that always makes her feel confident. She's planning to have fun, maybe flirt with that cute guy from the design team. But the first thing she sees when she walks in is Aiden, looking incredibly handsome in a dark blue suit, laughing at something Sarah from HR is whispering in his ear. Her stomach drops. She watches as Sarah touches Aiden's arm, as he leans in to hear her better over the music, as they dance together during the slow songs. They look good together. Natural. Elena spends the entire party stealing glances at Aiden and Sarah, feeling something ugly and unfamiliar twisting in her chest. When she sees Sarah kiss Aiden's cheek as they're leaving together, Elena feels like she might throw up. The next Monday, Elena corners Aiden in the parking garage. "So, you and Sarah, huh?" she says, trying to sound casual. Aiden looks genuinely confused. "What about me and Sarah?" "You guys seemed pretty cozy at the party." Aiden studies Elena's face for a moment, and something shifts in his expression. "Elena, why do you care?" "I don't care. I'm just making conversation." "Right. Well, for the record, Sarah and I are just friends. She was asking me about my breakup." "Your breakup?" "I've been seeing someone for the past month. It ended last week." Elena feels like she's been punched. "You were dating someone. Why is that surprising?" I didn't know." Aiden looks at her for a long moment. "Elena, there's a lot you don't know about me. You made it pretty clear you weren't interested in finding out." That night, Elena can't sleep. She keeps thinking about Aiden's words. "There's a lot you don't know about me." Elena realizes that she's right. For all the time they spent together, all their conversations, she never really asked Aiden about his life. She talked and he listened. She shared her problems and he helped solve them. But what did she actually know about Aiden as a person? She knows he's a software developer, but what kind of projects does he work on? She knows he has a cousin getting married, but what's his family like? She knows he likes Thai food and indie music, but what are his dreams, his fears, his passions?
Elena starts paying attention to Aiden in a way she never has before. She notices that Aiden stays late every Tuesday to help the cleaning crew with the heavy lifting. Apparently his mom was a janitor and he never forgot how hard that work is. She overhears him on a phone call with someone he calls abuela, speaking perfect Spanish and laughing at something she said. Elena had no idea Aiden was bilingual. She sees him sketching in a notebook during his lunch break and realizes the drawings are incredible. Detailed portraits and architectural designs. When did Aiden learn to draw like that? Most importantly, Elena starts noticing how Aiden treats people. He remembers the security guard's name and asks about his daughter's soccer games. He brings extra coffee for the interns who can't afford the fancy stuff. He stays calm during stressful projects and somehow makes everyone around him feel more confident. Elena realizes that Aiden isn't just the guy who had a crush on her. He's an entire person with depth and kindness and talents she never bothered to notice. And she's been taking all of it for granted. Elena decides she needs to know more about Aiden, but she can't exactly ask him directly, so she starts investigating. She talks to their mutual friend Jake, trying to be casual. So, what's Aiden up to these days? He seems different. Different how? Aiden has always been awesome. You're just noticing now because he's not following you around anymore. Ouch. What do you mean? Elena, come on. Aiden has been in love with you for 2 years. Everyone knew it except you. And honestly, we all felt bad for the guy because you clearly weren't interested, but you kept accepting all his help and attention. Elena feels her cheeks burn. It wasn't like that. Wasn't it? Look, Aiden is a great guy, but he was wasting his time on someone who didn't appreciate him. I'm glad he finally moved on. Elena talks to their coworker Lisa next. Did you know Aiden speaks Spanish?
Of course. His mom's from El Salvador. He sends money to his grandmother every month and volunteers at the community center teaching English classes. Wait, you didn't know any of this? Elena feels smaller and smaller with each conversation. She learns that Aiden has been taking night classes in architecture. His real passion is designing affordable housing. The sketches she saw weren't just doodles, they were actual building plans. She learns that Aiden turned down a job offer from Google last year because he didn't want to leave his mom, who's been struggling since his dad died. She learns that the someone Aiden was dating was actually a woman he met at his volunteer work, someone who shared his passion for community service. Elena realizes she never knew Aiden at all. She only knew the version of himself he presented to her, the eager, accommodating guy who would do anything to make her happy. Elena decides she needs to make a grand gesture to get Aiden's attention back. She finds out that Aiden's architecture class is having a showcase where students present their final projects. Elena shows up, uninvited, wearing her best dress with a bouquet of sunflowers, the same ones Aiden used to bring her. She waits until Aiden finishes his presentation, which is incredible, by the way, a design for low-income senior housing that made half the audience tear up, then approaches him. Aiden, that was amazing. I had no idea you were so talented. Aiden looks surprised to see her, but not pleasantly surprised. Elena, what are you doing here? I brought you these, she says, holding out the flowers. I wanted to celebrate your achievement. Aiden stares at the sunflowers, and Elena can see something painful flash across his face. Elena, why are you here? I wanted to support you. I realize I never really paid attention to the things that mattered to you, and I want to change that. Why? The simple question throws Elena off. Because we're friends. Because I care about you. Do you? Asks Aiden quietly. Or do you just miss having someone around who cares about you? Elena feels like she's been slapped. That's not fair, isn't it? Elena, for 2 years, I tried to show you who I was, and you weren't interested. Now that I've stopped trying, suddenly you want to know? People are starting to stare. Elena's grand gesture is becoming a public humiliation. Aiden, I made a mistake. Can we please talk privately? Aiden looks at the flowers in Elena's hands, back to her face. Elena, I can't do this anymore. I spent 2 years trying to be what you wanted, and it wasn't enough. I'm not going to spend another 2 years trying to figure out what you want now.
He walks away, leaving Elena standing there with the sunflowers, finally understanding how Aiden felt all those times she rejected him. But Elena doesn't give up. Instead, she does something Aiden never expected. She doesn't chase him. She doesn't make more grand gestures. Instead, Elena starts working on herself. Elena signs up for a volunteer program at the same community center where Aiden teaches English. Not to get close to him, he teaches on different days, but because she wants to understand what drives him to help people. Elena starts taking Spanish classes, not because Aiden speaks Spanish, but because she realizes she wants to connect with people beyond her own comfortable bubble. Elena begins paying attention to the people around her in ways she never did before. She learns the names of the cleaning crew, brings coffee for the interns, actually listens when people talk instead of just waiting for her turn to speak. Most importantly, Elena starts examining why she rejected Aiden all those times.
Was it really because she wasn't attracted to him, or was it because his devotion scared her? Elena's had a pattern her whole life of dating guys who were just out of reach. The finance bro who treated her badly, the artist who was too busy for relationships, the musician who kept her as a backup option. Elena realizes she's been attracted to people who didn't really want her because it felt safer than being with someone who actually loved her. Over the next 6 months, Elena and Aiden develop a new dynamic. They're cordial at work. Elena no longer expects special treatment from Aiden, and Aiden no longer goes out of his way to avoid her. They're normal coworkers. But Elena starts noticing the small things Aiden does. How he quietly helps struggling teammates without taking credit. How he remembers everyone's birthdays and dietary restrictions. How he stays calm under pressure and makes everyone around him feel capable. Elena doesn't try to insert herself into Aiden's life, but she starts appreciating who he is as a person, rather than just as someone whose attention she took for granted. At the community center, Elena meets Mrs. Rodriguez, one of Aiden's students. The elderly woman talks about Marcos with such affection that Elena can't help but smile. "He's special, that boy," Mrs. Rodriguez says in accented English. "He doesn't just teach us words. He makes us feel like we matter." Elena starts understanding the man she rejected 6 times. When Elena's grandmother gets sick, she mentions it casually at work. She doesn't expect anything from Aiden. She's learned not to expect anything from Aiden. But the next day, she finds a card on her desk with information about caregiver support groups and a note, "My mom went through this with my dad. These people helped a lot. M." It's not romantic. It's not a grand gesture. It's just one human being helping another. And for the first time, Elena sees Aiden clearly. The moment everything changes happens on a random Tuesday in March. Elena's walking past the conference room when she sees Aiden inside, working alone on his laptop. It's 8 p.m., the office is mostly empty, and Aiden looks exhausted. Elena knocks on the door. "Long day?" Aiden looks up, surprised. "Yeah, trying to finish this client presentation. You?" "Same. Mind if I sit? I could use the company." For the first time in months, they sit in comfortable silence, both working on their laptops. Elena steals glances at Aiden, noticing the concentration on his face, the way he runs his hand through his hair when he's thinking. After an hour, Elena breaks the silence. "Aiden, can I ask you something?" "Sure." When you used to ask me out, what did you see in me?" Aiden stops typing and looks at her. "Why are you asking?" "Because I'm trying to figure out if you saw something real or if you just liked the idea of me." Aiden leans back in his chair, studying Elena's face. "You really want to know?" Elena nods. "You light up when you talk about things you're passionate about. You remember random details about people's lives and checked in on them weeks later. You laugh so hard at stupid jokes that you make everyone else laugh too. You're fierce when you're defending someone you care about, even if they don't know it." Elena feels tears building up. "Then why did you give up?" "Because none of that mattered if you couldn't see it in yourself. And because I realized I was so busy trying to prove my worth to you that I forgot my own worth." Elena looks at this man she rejected 6 times, who knows her better than she knows herself, and feels something shift in her chest. "Aiden," she says quietly, "I think I made a mistake. 6 mistakes, actually. Aiden?" Aiden says carefully, "Elena, what are you saying?" Elena takes a deep breath. "I'm saying I've been thinking about you. A lot. About us. About who you are when you're not trying to impress me." Aiden doesn't respond immediately, and Elena rushes to fill the silence. "I know I don't deserve another chance. I know I hurt you, and I know I took you for granted. But Aiden, somewhere along the way, I stopped thinking about what I didn't feel for you and started noticing what I do feel."
Which is? Elena looks directly at Aiden, her heart pounding. "I feel safe with you. I feel seen. When you look at me, I feel like the best version of myself. And I think I might be falling in love with you." Aiden is quiet for a long moment, and Elena can see him processing her words. "Elena, I need you to be really honest with me. Is this because you want me or because you want me?" The question cuts right to the heart of Elena's fears. "I don't know," she admits, "but I want to find out. And I want to find out by getting to know you the way you got to know me, by paying attention to who you are, not just how you make me feel." Aiden runs his hand through his hair, the gesture Elena now recognizes as his thinking towel. "What are you asking for?" "I'm asking if you'd let me take you on a date. A real one, where I plan something you'd actually enjoy, and I ask you questions about your life, and I try to show you that I see you." Aiden stares at Elena for what feels like forever. "One date," he finally says. "But Elena, I'm not the same guy who asked you out 6 times. I'm not going to chase you or try to convince you to love me. If this doesn't work, we both walk away clean." Elena nods, her heart racing. 1 date. Elena spends a week planning their date, and for the first time, she's thinking about what Aiden would enjoy instead of what would impress him. She remembers his architecture passion and books them for a walking tour of historic buildings downtown. She researches the guides and finds one who focuses on affordable housing initiatives, something she knows Aiden cares about. She picks a quiet restaurant afterward, the kind of place where they can actually talk. No loud music, no flashy atmosphere, just good food and conversation. On the night of the date, Elena is more nervous than she's ever been. This isn't like her usual dates where she performs the version of herself she thinks the guy wants to see. With Aiden, she has to be real. Aiden meets her outside the tour starting point, and Elena's struck by how handsome he looks when he's not trying to impress her. He's confident, relaxed, genuinely pleased to be there. During the tour, Elena watches Aiden come alive as he discusses building techniques and urban planning with the guide. She asks questions, real ones, not just polite ones, and learns that Aiden has opinions about everything, from zoning laws to sustainable materials. "You really know your stuff," the tour guide tells Aiden. "Are you in the field?" "Not yet, but I'm working on it." Elena feels a surge of pride that surprises her. She wants Aiden to succeed, wants him to get everything he's working toward. At dinner, Elena does something she's never done on a date. She asks more questions than she answers. "Tell me about your mom. What's she like?" Aiden lights up talking about his mother's strength, how she worked 2 jobs to support them after his father died, and how she still calls him every morning to make sure he's eaten breakfast. "She sounds amazing. I'd like to meet her sometime." Aiden looks surprised. "Really?" "Really, if you want me to." 3 hours later, Elena and Aiden are still talking. The restaurant is closing around them, but they're deep in conversation about everything. Their families, their dreams, their fears, their weirdest childhood memories. Elena learns that Aiden wanted to be an architect since he was 8 years old and built elaborate forts in his backyard. She learns that he's terrified of butterflies because of a traumatic butterfly garden incident when he was 5. She learns that he writes poetry but has never shown it to anyone.
Aiden learns that Elena got into marketing because she loves solving puzzles, figuring out what makes people tick. He learns that she's been afraid of serious relationships because her parents had a messy divorce when she was 12. He learns that she volunteers at an animal shelter every weekend and has fostered 17 dogs. 17? Aiden laughs. How do you not keep them all? Oh, I tried to keep the first 3. My apartment looked like a dog park. I had to accept that I'm better at helping them find homes than I am at actually having pets. It's the first time Elena has ever admitted that to anyone, the fact that she's bad at commitment, even with dogs. When they finally leave the restaurant, neither wants the night to end. Want to walk around the block? Aiden suggests. They walk slowly, talking and laughing, and Elena realizes she's never felt this comfortable with someone. There's no performance, no trying to be impressive. She's just herself. When they reach Elena's car, she turns to Aiden. I had an amazing time tonight. Me too. Aiden, I need to tell you something. I've been on a lot of first dates, and I usually spend them trying to figure out if the guy likes me enough. Tonight was the first time I spent a date trying to figure out if I like the guy enough. And I really, really like you. Aiden smiles. The first real smile Elena has seen from him in months. I really like you too, Elena. When they kiss, it's nothing like the dramatic movie moment Elena always imagined. It's gentle, tentative, real, and it feels like coming home. 6 months later, Elena and Aiden are that couple everyone loves to hate, the ones who are genuinely happy together. But their relationship looks nothing like Elena's previous ones and nothing like the dynamic they had before. Elena doesn't wait for Aiden to plan everything. She suggests date ideas and makes reservations. Aiden doesn't anticipate Elena's every need. He lets her ask for what she wants. They both put in effort, but neither person is carrying the entire relationship. Elena meets Aiden's mother, who tells embarrassing stories about Aiden's childhood and immediately starts planning their wedding. Aiden meets Elena's parents, who are shocked to see their daughter with someone who actually listens when she talks. He's different from your usual type, Elena's mom observes. Yeah, Elena agrees. He actually likes me. The real test comes when Elena gets offered her dream job, a marketing director position at a company in Portland. It would mean leaving Seattle, leaving their friend group, leaving the life they've built. The old Elena would have either taken the job without considering Aiden's feelings or turned it down and resented him for holding her back. Instead, Elena and Aiden have the most adult conversation of Elena's life. It's an incredible opportunity, Aiden says after Elena explains the offer. You should take it. Just like that? Elena, I fell in love with your ambition. I'm not going to ask you to give up your dreams. But what about us? Aiden cakes Elena's hands. There are architecture firms in Portland. My mom's been wanting me to spread my wings anyway. If you want me to come with you, I'll come. And if things don't work out between us, then we'll both have taken a chance on something we believed in. That's better than wondering what if for the rest of our lives.
Elena stares at this man who's willing to move across the country for her, not because he's obsessed with her, but because he believes in their partnership. Aiden, she says, I think I want to marry you. Aiden blinks. Did you just propose to me? Maybe? Is that weird? Aiden grins. Elena Rodriguez, are you asking me to marry you? I'm asking if you want to build a life together, in Portland or Seattle or wherever. I'm asking if you want to be partners in everything. Aiden doesn't answer with words. He pulls Elena into his arms and kisses her until they're both laughing and crying at the same time. So here's the thing about rejection. Sometimes it's not about you at all. Aiden thought Elena was rejecting him, but she was actually rejecting the idea of being truly known by someone. She was rejecting vulnerability, commitment, the scary possibility of being loved exactly as she was.
And Elena thought she was rejecting Aiden, but she was actually rejecting the version of himself he presented to her, the eager-to-please guy who would do anything to make her happy. It wasn't until Aiden stopped trying to win Elena over that she could see who he really was. And it wasn't until Elena stopped expecting Aiden to chase her that she could figure out what she actually wanted. Sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is stop trying so hard to make them love you. And sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is figure out why you keep pushing away the people who see you clearly. Aiden and Elena's love story didn't start with the first time he asked her out, or even the 6th time. It started when they both stopped pretending to be someone else and decided to be themselves instead. And that, friends, is how you turn 6 rejections into one hell of a love story. Feel free to share your own story. Email it to me if you want to stay anonymous. And remember to subscribe for more relatable stories.